with that Animal Crossing, huh? Playing Animal Crossing as you're watching this? All right, then. So I believe this is Ancestors Rest, and we're going to have our finals. It's going to be Hero's Revenge, starting out with Dark Hero on this Hive Tyrant. This is a very tanky Tyranid melee hero. I don't even know what else to say about him. He cannot be knocked down and suppressed. Red Revenge in that tunnel as the Ravener Alpha. This is a ranged Tyranid commander. The other team, we're going to have DJ Raffa playing as the Plague Champion, ranged Chaos Commander with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, can also repair and heal. And then finally, it's going to be Redbeard playing as the Commando Knob, sneaky orc who can use bombs, guns, knives, etc. So unfortunately, we are on Ancestors Rest. Out of all the maps, I think this is one of the maps where my observing frame rate might be a little bit weaker, but that's just the way things are for the moment, and we're just going to have to deal with it as it is until I try some of the other things that have been recommended to me. Shooter Boy is going to be approaching, trying to pepper down those Hormigons on their approach. And the Ravener will be in cover, start to try to shoot down those Shooter Boys, but I have a feeling we're going to see a stun bomb real soon. Nope, it's just going to be the Commando Knob opening fire, but here are some more things coming in. Dark Hero is going to be moving in to support. He's going to get some of his units stunned by the stun bomb. And it's kind of just a straight line of orcs that are shooting, but eventually I think this line will be broken by the approach of the Hive Tyrant, or at least be forced to back up. One squad of Termagants is really low, and that wasn't a squad of Termagants, that was a squad of Shooter Boys. So it should be an early double cap for Dark Hero and Red Revenge. Hive Tyrant, meanwhile, is kind of tanking some damage. Might not want to do that until he has the rest of his army ready to do something with him. Okay, not going to be that early double cap yet. It's going to be DJ Raffa moving back out into the middle, that contested victory point. Not choosing to capture yet. Instead, we see the Spore Mines trying to wrap around. I think he's trying to go for a wipe on the Heretics. But it seems like Raffa maybe knows what's up, so he repositions the Heretics and instead tried to intercept the Spore Mines with the Plague Champion and the Chaos Space Marines. Meanwhile, Ravener is coming out of the tunnel. I don't know if he's stuck or something, because it really looks like he's right in the tunnel. Warriors will come out of the tunnel too. They're going to be doom blasted by some Heretics, and I wonder if we're going to see that. Yes, here is the Blight Grenade from the Plague Champion, managing to hit absolutely nothing. Now, although that Blight Grenade hit nothing in that particular engagement, I do like that pickup against double NIDs. Like, if that does hit Termagants or Hormigons at all, it will be... The effects of it will be pretty impressive, I do think. We will see if he is indeed able to get any decent Blight Grenade hits at some point. And one of the things we also need to see if we can get is a capture on the contested victory point by someone. Anyone at this point. Let Holy Hammer do it. There's still no one capturing this contested victory point. I don't feel like, I feel like they can do it. Just put one unit on that. Start taking your victory points in your favor. However, maybe they are going to prioritize trying to defend this generator farm. Stun Bomb will go in, but the Commando Knob is knocked down by the Warriors and forced into a full retreat. It's not a full generator bash yet, but we will see the decap. I have not actually heard that Holy Hammer is playing again. I just like to occasionally throw out Holy Hammer's name just because Holy Hammer is classically one of my favorite Dawn of War 2 players. But I think he's gone. I think he's been gone for pretty long at this point, unless I'm mistaken. So, decap will happen on the this power farm. And actually a full cap by the Hormigons. We do have some sneaky sluggers, though, upgrading to burners, trying to get the edge over these Hormigons. And I think they will, and it will just be an immediate retreat from the Hormigons. Rest of the fight's going to happen over here. And the Ravener goes down. I don't know if he was stuck in the tunnel or something. If he was stuck in the tunnel there, I don't know what's going on, because it seems like the Ravener is... Sometimes he's just standing around right in that tunnel. And we have a Luda. It's been a while since I've seen that. I'm pretty sure it's the first Luda we've seen all day. Don't often see Ludas. And, I mean, I feel like Ludas are so rare that I don't actually fully understand... just how well the Ludas work in terms of how much damage they do compared to how fast they suppress. Like, I have a general idea of that for Guardian weapon teams, heavy weapons teams, Devastators, and Havocs, but I actually view Ludas as somewhat of a question mark. My general impression is that they do a bit more damage but suppress a little bit slowly. But it really is pretty rare to see a Luda squad. So Ludas will be setting up. There are some Raveners here to jump them, but I don't know if he has sight of the Ludas yet. All right, finally he does have sight of the Ludas. Should be an easy jump, because it's not like there's anything to really counter-initiate against the Raveners in melee, and it does just have to be a full retreat from Redbeard. And riddle me this, Torpid, as our resident expert. Oh, as we're seeing, I think a full squad get wiped there. Or maybe it was only 2 members of a squad. Oh, but that squad... Okay, so this game is not really happening. DJ Raffa crashed. Anyway, so now we can actually just talk about things. I wanted to know... to get more of a reasoning from Torpid, or really anyone else who wants to throw in their opinion. Pianos, I hear you're a very good player these days, so if you want to chime in with your opinion too, you can. Why are Ludas comparatively rare next to things like Devastators or Havocs? Whether it's something about the unit itself or compositionally, the way it works out in their army. Who would like to tell me? That will be it. Well, actually, no. That's just... I don't think that counts for... He seems to be like their go-to referee in these tournaments, because he really seems to be like, no bullshit. All right, then. Do we have our teams on the right or the wrong side? Old school boys. Not quite. I'm going to switch it. All right, then. So, game number 2 in our best of 5 series between all of these players. It's going to be Redbeard on that commando knob, that sneaky orc with guns, bombs, knives, a DJ Raffa on the Force Commander. I forget which skin is this. Either way, I like it. Force Commander, tanky melee hero, buffing with Battle Cry, disrupting with Battle Cry. Dark hero, going to be using the Hive Tyrant, tanky melee hero who walks through cover and cannot be suppressed, much like the Chaos Lord, but different from him in other ways. And finally, Red Revenge on that ranged Tyrannid Ravener Alpha, about to get tied up in melee by the Force Commander, and since he's getting tied up, he's also going to be taking some range damage from those Tactical Marines. He's by himself, so he's looking to tie up the Tactical Marines instead, and now he's actually not looking to tie them up, maybe going for some scouts. Unfortunately, I think that indecision's really going to cost him, and the Ravener Alpha really did not achieve a whole lot in that engagement. So he's probably moving back the rest of his units, choosing not to engage at the moment. But how is Dark Hero doing on this side? He seems to be doing a little bit better. Going to commit one of his Hormagaunts to taking down this contested... No, this is not contested, but this power node. And it's actually only a 1-to-1 cap, although it soon will be a 2-to-1 cap in favor of the red team. But victory points have already ticked down in favor of Dark Hero and Red Revenge. So, power node is gone. Commando knob is coming out of infiltration, and he is going to be putting in, just killing a lot of models off the Hormagaunts. Wow. Hormagaunts actually, if anything, almost seemed like they walked into that grenade. Stun bomb, rather. Anyway, up here, as I stop looking at the chat and try to focus on the game, Tactical Marines are going to be focusing down the Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts just bleeding a lot of models and health before they can actually achieve anything. So these are warriors. I keep wanting to start with R, use an R word. but instead I needed a W word there. It was going to be Warriors. Warriors leading the charge, and they get that initial knockdown, but then they're focused down a lot by the range damage that is happening in response. Oh no, the Warriors not in such a good position, but actually somehow managing to get that Force Commander to retreat first. I'm not quite sure how that interaction ultimately played out. Anyway, now with the Force Commander gone, I feel like this should ultimately go in favor of Red Revenge once he starts tying people up with the Ravener Alpha, can tie up another squad with the Warriors, but we are just seeing DJ Raffa try to kite back. His Tactical Marines are slowly being burned down, but have not lost a model yet. In the end, they should not win this fight, because it's like 3 squads against 1, even though they're quite a bit tankier than the Termagants. Hormagaunts will start bashing generators on this side of the map, tying up the Tactical Marines again to prevent them from getting any real value and buying the rest of his army time and space so that they can start taking down these generators. But he's prioritizing the node instead of the generator. With the amount of damage that that node already took, he could have taken down a generator, and I don't think he'll be able to get another one. Oh, that special attack was brutal. Could this be the end of the Ravener Alpha? And actually, it's not. Space Marine's not the greatest at killing on retreat, but I still think there was an opportunity to kill the Ravener Alpha there if we did see force melee from the Tactical Marines instead of just the melee from the Force Commander. Oh, Termagants, are they going to get wiped here? It's a close call. I think they do. One Tactical Marine squad has to go, so actually it probably won't be. Meanwhile, on this side, we are going to see, looks like more generator bashes are happening on this side of the map. Red Revenge lamenting that tankiness of the Tactical Marines. And it looks like it is going to be Dark Hero just trying to get one of his natural power nodes back. While Redbeard moves in with those Ludas. In spite of everything, got the Ludas again. And actually, did I mess up the interface even further? I think I did. I think I need to switch back the old school boys. And, oh no, but it could be, while we're talking about that, we will have one squad wiped for Dark Hero. Let's take a look at this engagement before we consider switching my overlay. Sluggers are real low here, but we might be pretty close to seeing some Synapse backlash, but it will be the Sluggers wiped. Why are these Ludas sleeping on the job? Not doing anything. Oh my god, Redbeard is getting wiped. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. After that, those Ludas were very disappointing. Attempted repairs on the power node, but will be out DPS'd by the Raveners and the Termagants. Raveners jumping in, managed to disrupt the whole Space Marine army. Very unfortunate to be grouped up that much. Man, I don't know. This game might end before I have the chance to even... before I even have the chance to fix my overlay. Alright, real quick. Hopefully I didn't mess it up further this time. But I think that is more accurate. Anyway, full generator bash going to be happening. Certainly on this power node. I think this one, it will happen as well. Best newbie, that is not true. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into that yet, but I will try to talk more about the league. I'll try to talk more about the league after this game, maybe like in our break time. But so far it's looking rough. Razorback will come out for DJ Raffa to try to answer all of this, but in spite of the victory points being pretty even, this is looking like a pretty dominant start for Dark Hero and Red Revenge. Not a great answer to the Razorback yet. Warriors might be able to do some damage to it. Ravener does not have the Corrosive Devourer. Warriors actually looking to see if they can get into melee, maybe? No. They're going to look and see if they can knock over the Force Commander. That could be the kill on the Force Commander. And indeed it will be. Man, that Warrior leap that leap into combat actually is, it can really just, I mean, there it got value. That's basically what I'm trying to say. It was great there. Triple cap for Dark Hero and Red Revenge. Meanwhile, on this side, it is going to be Redbeard just taking the middle victory point, but a lot more is happening here with DJ Raffa being pushed into his base. Death Dread also going to be coming out from Redbeard, so at some point, they're concentrating on this side of the map because they want to reestablish their power farm. At some point, with this kind of setup, I think they would want to see if they can make a push for the opponent's power for Red Revenge and Dark Hero's power. But the priority, of course, at this moment is to try to reestablish their own power farm. Otherwise, it's going to be a real rough game. Now, all things considered, they were ahead of Dark Hero in tech. Dark Hero is only just now teching up to Tier 2, while Redbeard and DJ Raffa had actually already been in Tier 2 long enough to get vehicles out before Dark Hero even got into Tier 2. This Death Dread, meanwhile, is actually here. It doesn't even have the burners and bits upgrade, so we don't even see this often, but it actually has shooters mounted on it instead of burners. Those shooters are not particularly powerful, but I guess it does mean that it probably has a little bit longer range than it otherwise would. We are now starting to see some anti-vehicle responses, though. Oh, we're going to see Capillary Tower come out, speed up these Tyranids, try to help them catch up. Some kind of... That is going to be... Oh my god, wow. That was the end of the Razorback real fast. Death Dread, meanwhile, is not dead yet. Still does not have those burners and bits. So we are going to see it is the Crushing Claws, I believe. Yeah, Crushing Claws from the Hive Tyrant. The highest DPS of any melee weapon, any commander melee weapon in the entire game at 108 heavy melee DPS. Of course, it doesn't come with any kind of ability, no utility out of those Crushing Claws because the idea behind it is just supposed to be raw damage. Red Revenge does have the Corrosive Devourer, however, to give him a bit more... Well, actually, to give him anti-vehicle damage. Also gives him, I believe, plasma DPS, which does mean it's pretty good against things like the Tactical Marines. Plasma Devastators will indeed be purchased. We'll see how those work out. Obviously, some of the lovely gentlemen in chat are critiquing that plasma dev purchase and don't feel that it will get particularly high value, but we will find out. So War Truck now here for Redbeard. So he's got 2 vehicles to work with, which is kind of tough considering he has only 1 squad of sluggers, so could be difficult to keep up with those repairs at some point. Librarian going to be out for DJ Raffa. Currently has... It does have at least... Okay, it is going to be getting the Force Staff. It's going to use Smite on those Termagants. Did not actually seem to have great effect. And it's a... Oh, I was going to say a significant victory point lead, but I misread 300 as 500. Force Barrier. Oh, did you see that, Piano? Did you see that plasma dev shot? What a shot that was. I think Dark Hero and Red Revenge should just concede now after that plasma cannon shot. Anyway. All right. Victory points will be... It's going to be a 1-to-1 cap. Hive Tyrant, meanwhile, he also has the Warp Field to basically just make him tankier, use his energy as a shield. And it's going to be a standoff in this whole big middle area on this contested victory point as they look to... We have the Special Shooter Commando Knob trying to burn down that Hive Tyrant. I wanted to target the Commando Knob and check his DPS. 13.4 piercing DPS, so not a huge amount of DPS. I think with that War Gear, you're mostly looking for the utility that comes with the Boom Shot ability. I don't think that's actually the right name for it. Actually, I think I can check. It is called High Explosive Shells. Here is, yeah, I mean, we've got a Zoanthrope. Zoanthrope looking to try to get some value by shooting at Tactical Marines from a distance. and soon to be a triple cap for Redbeard and DJ Raffa. Very soon. Tyrant Guard now out. Also, probably has been out for a little while now from Dark Hero. Just hasn't seemed to have made such an impact. Oh, no, that's going to be the end of that, too. I think. I think they will be able to make it there in time for follow-up and finish off the War Truck. Yep, that will indeed happen. Meanwhile, engagement's going to happen over here. The Death Dread, now upgraded with the Burners and Bits, is trying to get some Synapse backlash by killing some of those warriors, but is not able to pop one of those warrior models. Sluggers are here on an island by themselves. Where is the Commando Knob going? Uses the high explosive shells. Has a pretty nice effect, but I don't know that there's going to achieve too much here other than just bleed a few models, and it's going to eventually have to be a retreat. Meanwhile, the Hive Tyrant is seemingly overcommitting here, but the Death Dread will be taken down. I think the Hive Tyrant goes down as well. It's so close. Oh, he finally does go down. There is that Synapse backlash, knocking all of those Termagants over. Ah, yes, we are indeed losing the thing. Sometimes that's how I describe things as well when I can't think of them. Raveners trying to... I mean, look at the Plasma Dev value. Oh my god, just absolutely wrecking those Raveners. Anyway. Attempted force barrier to try to scare off this... Oh god, we got a tier 3 Lictor. How often do you see that? Probably reasonably often. Leaps out of there. Leaps out of there, and the Tier 3 Lictor is fine. That Tier 3 Lictor actually pretty tanky at 1,150 hit points, as well as the fact that it can just kind of jump out if it does get in danger. Oh my! That was a nice play. Knock them down with the high explosive shells, and then finish them off with the Burnas, or with the Burna Sluggas. Alright, Tier 3 Lictor will jump in on the Tactical Marines. I'm a little bit concerned. Yeah, that Tier 3 Lictor eventually does have to retreat. Was pretty low on hit points. Shotgun Blast stalls out the approach from the Warriors, who are upgraded with the Thorax Swarm. Did I read that correctly? Yes. Alright, meanwhile down here, it is going to be Warriors leaping onto the Shooter Boys. I don't know how the Warriors let them, or the Shooter Boys let themselves get so close. Meanwhile up here, Tyrant Guard is going to be, man, Tyrant Guard is going to be killing some Tactical Marines. One Tactical Marine model did go down. Plasma Dev does wind up, but shoots nothing. So we've got a few upgrades. It's going to be the Thunderhammer on the Force Commander. We already see the Special Shooter. How about, okay, oh, Bonded Exoskeleton. The ability that makes the Hive Tyrant invulnerable. That's always seemed like such a rough one for me to play against. Torpid. Do you not know Torpid? Are you actually asking me? Or is this like one of those things like, how do you play this game? What does the X button do? I could understand it if it's something like you haven't been paying attention to the game since like 2.9.4 or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who to believe now, whether I believe Piano or somewhere else. But anyway, someone else. Triple cap soon to happen for... Oh, wow. And that is indeed a Neurothrope. Remember when the Neurothrope was called the Doom of Malantai? That was a long time ago. Thorax Swarm. Yeah, I will confess that I did not know what the Thorax Swarm was before this cast. But anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about it at the moment. We are going to see the Neurothrope getting stunned. Oh no, this is so bad. It needs to just be a retreat on the Neurothrope before it gets wiped. Alright, the Neurothrope will be okay, and I suppose so will the rest of Red Revenge's army for the moment, but he will be scared off the field. And all things considered, Red Revenge unfortunately calling a miss micro. It's a 2-to-1 in victory points. Nice Plasma Devastator shot on that Warrior Brood. Just going to call that out whenever I see it. Division Redbeard. Overall, it's actually a pretty even game in this game, too. In what I actually view as our first real game in the series, since the last one was a little too brief. Ravener's going to jump in, knock down the Slugga Boys, while the Hive Tyrant starts to get forced down, but I think he's activated Bonded Exoskeleton or really just Invulnerability. And he will also take down the Redbeard Commando Knob. Alright, this time I'm pretty sure he's activated the Warp Field, which a little bit hard to tell the difference between those two, but I think I do know the difference. I think... Yes, Rostam, thank you. I did do my research on that one, and Torpid got to me first before you got to me on that one. The old global in retail was Plague of Undeath, but that was crowded out when Chosen Plague Marines became a global call-in, and the effect of Plague of Undeath has kind of been preserved in the Nurgle's Rot ability for the Chosen Plague Marines. I did look that up, and Torpid did also mention that to me as well. Anyway, I'm starting to get distracted from this game. And because we're getting distracted from this game, we're going to miss this great fight between the Warriors and the Ludas. Come on, the Ludas, just shoot the Def Gun in the Warriors' faces. I don't understand. I thought Ludas were great units. Anyway, we are going to see Zoanthrope. Oh, wow. Hey, we've got the double Neurothrope build. No, just kidding. That's a Lictor. This is the Neurothrope. We've only got the one Neurothrope, which there it is. We've got the double tier 3 Lictor, though. Couldn't tell, though, with that new portrait for this Lictor, which it's a little bit hard to actually see what it is, but I'm sure up close it looks a little bit better. Bunch of plasma attacks as well as some Terminators going to be out here. And it is going to be some Sluggas getting in on those Warriors. Managed to kill one Warrior model, but they will get disrupted by that Tier 3 Lictor using the Leap ability. Tier 3 Lictor actually flesh hooks the Slugga model, but the Knob model, but the DPS from those Sluggas was starting to be overwhelming, so disruption comes in from the Ravener tunneling in. Hive Tyrant is in here as well. Gets a special attack to knock over some Shooter Boys. So this will be Red Beard. Man, I'm surprised I haven't mixed that up more. Red Revenge and Red Beard. Hive Tyrant can actually, with Bonded Exoskeleton and everything he has, is able to just walk straight up to Ludas. I don't think there are too many other heroes in the game that can do that, and oh boy, we've got the double Carnifex coming out of here. One of these Carnifex does have the Venom Cannon, the other one is upgrading also to have a Venom Cannon. So one of those Carnifex is from Dark Hero, one from Red Revenge. Tunnel killed by some scouts. Oh man, these scouts, Raffa doesn't have any capes on his scouts. Bioplasma does go in, knocks them down. It didn't seem like the Bioplasma actually did most of the damage. But a Brood Nest will also be placed here. And at the moment, it is Dark Hero and Red Revenge holding 2 victory points. Redbeard and DJ Raffa still in the lead, so we're seeing some of that sneaky commando play out of Redbeard again. And it is going to be some knobs that will approach, create some space. See, they force the Raveners to back up to create space for the Commandos to cap. Commandos will not finish the cap. I thought they were going to continue capping. They decide to resume the capture. They're being disrupted again, and they will finish off the cap, and they decide to just retreat. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they just retreated. I wonder if there was an opportunity to use aiming what's dat there to disrupt maybe the Warriors, but then I think it also would have disrupted his own knobs, whereas the Hive Tyrant doesn't have to worry about that, and he just goes in. Hive Tyrant has activated, I believe, Invulnerability, but here comes the Carnifex. This is another Carnifex. This one is Thornback, and we can tell because of the way that it charged there. so that it was able to disrupt those knobs a little bit. But knobs, of course, with that heavy melee damage, are going to start putting in damage on this Carnifex. There's not much more damage on the Carnifex, though. Maybe this Def Gun should be upgraded to a Beamy Luda. So it's actually, oh, it's a 2-to-1 cap for Redbeard and DJ Raffa. They're pretty close to taking this game, but not quite there yet. And oh no, the Plasma Devastators, they're going to be jumped on by the Tier 3 Lictor, so that will be the Plasma Devastators effectively countered by that Tier 3 Lictor. Tier 3 Lictor is not paying attention, though. Almost allowed itself to get DPS down. Oh no, these Terminators. All right, they finally are able to teleport out of there. And it's a 1-to-1 cap. 2-to-1 will soon happen. Oh, and I think the Raveners, yeah, they're... It's not entirely a necessary jump. It wouldn't have taken them that much longer to just walk over there. But it works anyway. So Predator will now be out on the field for DJ Raffa. Currently, no upgrades on this Predator. He's a little low on requisition, but soon I think he could get one upgrade. Bioplasma will go in. Bioplasma does whiff completely, though. Plasma Devastators are setting up. In the middle of the map, we are going to see Commandos attempting their sneaky play again. Can we get something like Tactical Marines? Oh, no. They're not going to be able to capture there with the Gene Stealers. They're knocked off again. It's a 1-0 in favor of Dark Hero and Red Revenge. Can Redbeard or Raffa get someone on the victory point? Might not happen with that Tyrannoformation, but it's going to be a Rocks in response. What's going to be more effective, the Tyrannoformation or the Rocks? I think the Tyrannoformation is proving to be more disruptive. Tactical Marines are forced into retreat. One squad here is really low. It's going to be the Raveners. Raveners upgraded with that enhanced muscle coil. But Redbeard and Raffa, they don't have someone capping yet. I think this is going to be the game in favor of Dark Hero and Red Revenge. Yeah, it's a triple cap now. It was close. It was close, but in the end, it does mean that Dark Hero and Red Revenge are going to take a 2-0 lead in this series. All right, then. But anyway, we are going to get started. It will be our red team players. And, of course, I've got the thing switched now. And I'm going to need to switch it again real quick. All right, we are here. Long, long ago, I do swear that there was a time when Vengetron actually played. I do recall playing games with Vengetron. But anyway, let's take a look at our players. It's going to be Redbeard playing as that sneaky commando knob with bombs, guns, knives, and a bunch of other stuff. DJ Raffa on the Plague Champion, ranged Chaos Commander with a damage over time bolter. Can get melee weapons later if he wants. Red Revenge on what is, as far as I know, his only hero at the moment. And I should be careful what I say, because I'm sure he could beat me on other heroes that are not this. But Ravener Alpha, ranged commander, can tunnel around the map. And finally, Dark Hero on the War Boss, tanky, melee hero, walks through cover but can be suppressed. That's kind of the main new one here. What's Dark Hero's War Boss gonna be looking like? I like you are mom. Anyway. We are going to have Redbeard and DJ Raffa take a little bit of a victory point lead at the moment, 500 to 477, because Red Revenge and Dark Hero have not actually captured any victory points. They're a little bit slow in that. It's going to be an early triple cap. Wow, that's really strange. Early triple cap. And they're just kind of pushing them around the map. This is... Where is Dark Hero going, though? Is he going for the power? That's my best guess at the moment. Yeah, looks like he's going for the power. War Boss will go in here. Will destroy the node. So he's targeting the node first. And if he is going to be targeting the node, that does make me think that he'll be looking for a decap. But it's not going to happen because he is blocked out by the power node being rebought. Here is a little bit of a response coming out from Redbeard. Redbeard's going to start focusing down those sluggers, but it won't be soon enough before they finish off that generator, so that's going to be a node and a generator killed. I expect at some point we are going to see the stun bomb, but when? Can Redbeard control the bleeding here? Because he's still, at some point, I think he's going to lose this node as well. I think he will end up giving it up to the Shooter Boys because he's not doing anything about them, and they will finish off the node, so they will need to actually just end up re-noding it. So, a decent generator bash for Dark Hero, but Red Revenge and Dark Hero are giving up a lot of victory points at the moment. It is still a triple cap against them. I would think, especially with how low they are, even with them winning this engagement, those Termagants would have split off a little bit faster, at least one of those squads, to start capturing it. And no, they keep on going, trying to support, take care of the Plague Champion, just concerned about winning the engagement, which, yes, that is important, but right now they are just bleeding so many victory points. Still need to see someone get these victory points. Is this the throw? I don't know what's going on after this. I don't know what's going on here. So some orcs hiding in the corner, trying to bash that power node that was put down. This one put down by Redbeard, but some sneakier orcs moving around the map, deciding they're not going to take an engagement with any of the orcs here. Not any good matchups that they really want. They probably want to look for a ranged unit to nom on. But they're still just going to be moving around. Perhaps they're going to be looking for... I have no idea what they're looking for, honestly. They're just moving around, infiltrated. Commando Knob is moving back in. At this point, he's just straight up looking for a fight. But there are some bleed boys on the side of Dark Hero, so he can jump in at some point, start... If he can not get bled himself, might be able to bleed some of those shooters. Stun Bomb is going to be a complete miss. Oh, but here is the double, and just an instant retreat. Instant retreat does cut any losses. I was about to say, if I'm Redbeard, or really anyone on... It really Redbeard or Raffa. At this point, I feel like it's almost more like just stall a bit. Because they now have a 300 victory point lead. I don't entirely know what is going on here. I think finally, Red Revenge and Dark Hero will get one victory point on the map, so it'll be evened out at 1-1 to stall it at 500 to 202. So what are they going to do at this point? Havoc was suppressing the shooters, but the Ravener Alpha is able to tunnel in, has the hardened carapace ability. I've always liked this war gear. I don't even play the Ravener Alpha, but at least just thematically, I just kind of liked seeing the Ravener Alpha actually being burrowed. Ooh, and we are going to see a Plague Champion's heavy bolter turret set up to hold the victory point on this side for Redbeard and DJ Raffa. Let's take a look over here. Storm Boys have jumped in. They have Ard Boys, but their health is so low. They managed to jump out. They will lose 2 of their models. Stun Bomb does go in, stunning his own units. Oh no! Stunning your own units, and then they get focused down. They need to retreat, or they might actually die. And it's going to be Slugger Boys. Do they go down in retreat? It's a close call, but they will make it out alive. Or do they? Another volley came out from the Ravener Alpha, but was not enough. So this will be a very fast generator bash with all of these Termagants, as well as the Ravener Brood. Rather long Tier 1 build from Red Revenge. We do see Redbeard and Raffa going to Tier 2. Red Revenge not quite there yet. Dark Hero not quite there yet either. The generator bash continues. Redbeard trying to answer back, but the Raveners are going to jump in. Wow! I almost wondered if he compensated, trying to predict them backing up, because that was just spot on. Disrupted both Shooter Boys and the Commando Knob, and Redbeard is just getting run over by Red Revenge at the moment. absolutely run over. I mean, he's so close to his base, and it feels like he might get some of his units wiped. Slugger Boys coming in from the back, though, are enough to scare off the Raveners. Can he get maybe a model kill on the Warriors? No, he will not get a model kill. And all things considered, at least right now, there's still 3 generators up. Turret is in here. Chaos Space Marines are moving back. They are low on hit points. They don't lose a model, at least not yet. And the turret finally is gone. Storm Boys jumping in with Ard Boys yet again. Ard Boys and User Choppas, that classic War Boss combination of just using both of those globals. But here is Touch of Nurgle in response. And that is going to be a winning response. I mean, right now, the Storm Boys actually in a lot of trouble. I don't think they will get... they will not be killed overall as a squad, but that is a lot of bleed from a squad that we sometimes affectionately refer to as Bleed Boys. Meanwhile, it is going to be the Shooter Boys from Redbeard. Unfortunately, at some point, Redbeard did lose his Sluggers, so he's really lacking much of an army at this point. They still have that significant victory point lead, but Red Revenge and Dark Hero, they're still doing okay in terms of just how the engagements are going, even with a tech disadvantage. So Raffa has a Blood Crusher out on the field, currently uncountered, but it shouldn't be uncountered for too much longer. Red Revenge now in Tier 2, so we might see the Corrosive Devour on the Ravener Alpha. Blood Crusher is coming in to try to scare off these Raveners. Unfortunately, will not be able to capture this victory point for itself, for their team. Soon we will see, well, it's still a double cap for Red Revenge and Dark Hero, trying to even out the victory points in their favor. Oh my, what a shot in from that Weird Boy, nearly wiping that Termagant Brood, and I don't think this has been realized soon enough by Red Revenge. He should lose it. Force melee from Shooter Boys, of all things. Storm Boy's going to be jumping in. They have their knob, so they stun the Weird Boy, which just forces an instant retreat from Redbeard. Commander Knob, meanwhile, did throw some stick bombs of his own down as he was approached by those Storm Boys. If he is going to get swarmed by that, I almost wonder if this could be a Kaboom game. I haven't seen Kaboom in a long time, and I don't actually know if it's a good choice, but it would just be pretty cool. Oh, wow, the Storm Boys are wiped in response. Storm Boys just went in a little bit too hard. And why is the... Oh, he's going for... I feel like this is... That was interesting. Going past the War Boss to get a Warp Vomit. That was a little surprising. And honestly, also a little risky. If he had taken just a little too much damage, he actually could have lost the Weird Boy to a few swings. Piano, I'm not even sure what the R word is. Anyway. War Boss is fully upgraded. Power Claw, Spiky Armor, and the Angry Bits. It is evened out at a 1-to-1. A melee Plague Champion is going into the bunker. And we also have a Acid Splatter Ravener Alpha. Does improve his melee attacks. And also gives him some splash damage. He's going to come up here, I guess maybe bother the Plague Champion. I don't know if that's actually a good idea. Without support, I think he might actually even lose that fight. But more things are going on right here. War Truck is going to be out for Redbeard. No extra armor on this one. And he's going to be using that to see if he can push out in this lane to maybe take back the victory point. He's focusing. Oh, he's got to be careful. He's focusing on the generators, but there is a Death Dread here, and he doesn't have much of a real answer to this. Warp Vomit to slow down the Orc infantry armor, slows down the War Boss, but he doesn't have enough of an answer to the Death Dread, which has already been upgraded with Burnas and Bits. Thank you, Inakura, for just a welcome break from all the constant shitposting in this chat, which I do like, but at the same time, it also gets a bit much at times. Nice to have a little sincerity every once in a while. You know, we got a real game down here. If we want to go into this piano, I will say that I've done acid, I think only one time in my life. No, 2 or 3. I've done acid, but I do not consider myself a hippie. Anyway, let's move back on. Ravener's going to be jumping in, and I think this is going to be, yeah, these squads are going to have to go. Raveners jump in, they disrupt the Havocs. The Ravener will come out as well. This needs to be a retreat before it's the loss of these entire squads. And I think the squads will be okay overall. It's a pretty close call. These Chaos Space Marines actually in a lot of trouble, down to just 1 model, so a lot of bleed taken there. And it's just, despite the massive victory point lead, it does feel like Dark Hero and Red Revenge are coming back into this game. Warp Vomit goes in. The War Boss is in here with both globals on himself. The Use Your Choppas and the Yard Boys. Death Dread going in. Death Dread doesn't even really know what to target and finally decides to start going after the Blood Crusher. Blood Crusher, however, is supported by Worship. Touch of Nurgle is going to come in here too, and that will be the end of the War Boss. I think the Blood Crusher will eventually go down as well, but it is a chaotic fight at this time with things happening in more places that I can capture on the whole screen. While on this side, it is going to be some Gene Stealers who are nomming on some Sluggas who I think may have made it back inside the War Truck, so they come back out. And in the end, who's going to win this? It is going to be the Blood Crusher taken down. The Death Dread is still in here, but it is being targeted by the Plague Marines. Will it be able to walk out of here? It's pretty far away from the Plague Marines. And in the end, overall, that feels like a winning overall fight for Redbeard and DJ Raffa, but they don't have control of the map at the moment, so they are still losing some victory points. Meanwhile, they're going to move forward with the War Truck, which needs some repairs, by the way. We're in the, like, one shot from certain weapons. Like, if it was a... I'm trying to think of something that could one-shot it from the other side, but actually I'm not sure. Still, it's pretty low, and it can go down pretty soon. I had a good time every single time I was on acid, whether that was 2 or 3 times. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. And here in this chat, I get to talk about my recreational drug use while a War Truck goes down. So we see there, the War Truck was so low, did not have much time to move away from the Venom Boot. Now a triple cap in favor of Redbeard and DJ Raffa. I mean, honestly, even if this does end up being a 3-0 series in the end, I don't feel like it was that uneven. I feel like Redbeard and DJ Raffa are keeping it close. I mean, at the moment, they are technically winning in the sense that they have a victory point lead. We just got to see how the rest of this game goes, and maybe we'll even see if they can bring this out to a Game 4. Tier 3 Lictor is out for, I can't tell which player. It's got to be Red Revenge. No, just kidding. Yes, it has to be Red Revenge. He's the only Tyranid player in this game. And oh no, that is going to be some Heretics possibly. Yes, Heretics will indeed fall for DJ Raffa. While some, I can't even tell. This is Use Your Choppas on the Hormagaunts and Ard Boys. That is funny. I don't know when's the last time I've seen that. So just to let you guys all know, it's hard for me to catch everything that does happen in the chat since I tend to focus more on the game. And although I do have the chat open, so I do glance over it every time and do occasionally see things. I'm not going to respond to everything that I see, though. Just not possible, at least unless I completely ignore the game itself, which I am choosing not to do. Especially if I do end up putting any of these matches on YouTube. We'll see. We do have some Commandos. Commandos this time actually out of Dark Hero rather than Redbeard. Missiles going back and forth with some from that Commando knob. Oh, there's some aiming, not aiming, what's that? Love Dadaka knocking over those tank busters and allowing the Death Dread to start tearing them up to pieces. But the Death Dread is still in trouble. It's being chased after by a Plague Champion. I think the Death Dread does go down here. We can barely see it with all this smoke, but eventually that will be the Death Dread going down. This is ending up being a great Game 3 in this series between these two teams. And I could very much see it being a possibility that the series does, or that this game does go in favor of Redbeard and DJ Raffa. Rock's going to go in. Oh my, let's see, what is the value of this Rock's? Pretty good Rocks. I think he managed to get some synergy there, knocking them over with the Weird Boy. And that was coming out of, I think, that had to be, that was Redbeard setting that all up. Red Revenge said he lost everything, even though he actually has more stuff than Dark Hero. Dark Hero saying it's not even a problem, but Red Revenge actually wanting to concede. Even if they don't concede, I think this game is starting to go in favor. Oh no! Redbeard, though, knocks over his own Commando Knob with his own stick bombs and then ends up getting killed by the focus fire out of Dark Hero. Is that going to be the throw that lets them get back into this game? I don't know. Will it be? Meanwhile, this is going to be potentially a wipe on the Shooter Boys. Sluggers are going after it. They might just have it, and indeed they do. They managed to take out Redbeard's Shooter Boys. So losses happening for Redbeard, along with his commander being dead. Although Dark Hero, he's also got a dead commander as well. And victory points are pretty close to being in a winning position for Redbeard. All right, it looks like they are finally calling the concede. Dark Hero still wants to play. Man, Dark Hero truly being the hero. Red Revenge wants to concede, and Dark Hero is the one who wants to go in and make a play happen. However, it is going to be these infiltrated Slugger Boys potentially getting the decap on this victory point for the red team. They are sniffed out by the Shooter Boys, but the Shooter Boys will eventually lose that fight. Meanwhile, bigger engagement's going to happen right here. It's going to be the Commando Knob quietly getting a decap, and it's actually evened out at a 1-to-1 at the moment. This game is not over yet. We're going to see some Slugger Boys attempting the decap. There is going to be the possible interception by the Warboss. Can the Warboss get them off the victory point? He does actually manage to get them off using the Now I'm Angry ability. And now he's just going to be ripping them apart. There's more happening on this side of the map, though. There's going to be more Use Your Choppas. This one coming out from the knobs. Dreadnought is going in. It is a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought with Blood Rage active. And victory points evened out yet again at 1-to-1. Okay. Oh, that actually... the capturing unit was killed, and that will be the win in favor of Redbeard and DJ Raffa. Not out of this series yet. Nope, I'm running just a little bit behind schedule, because guess what? We actually just got into our game right here. As we get into it, hopefully it shows up real soon, but I'm going to have to also switch over to the chat, because I do want to see the chat. All right, then. Hopefully that'll be up real soon. But it is going to be, yes, we are here. We are back. And do we have our teams on the right size? No, we don't. So I'm going to switch that real quick. All right, we are here, finally. All right, so we're going to start out with Redbeard on that Commando Knob once again. DJ Raffa still on that Plague Champion. Red Revenge is going to be on the Ravener Alpha, and Dark Hero going to be on the Warboss yet again. Hope at this point we don't see them just lose a lot of victory points early on. Want to see it go a little bit more back and forth, but 2-to-1 in favor of Hero's Revenge. We're going to see the Warboss from Dark Hero starting to approach the power node. He's chasing down the Plague Champion, doing some light damage to him as he does run back. And it does look like the Slugger Boys prioritizing that requisition point over the victory point. Eventually this... I mean, I guess the... What does this necessarily buy Dark Hero here by chasing the Plague Champion all the way into base? At some point, he does have to move back. At some point, when he does move back, the Plague Champion will turn around and do a lot more damage to him than the War Boss was doing to the Plague Champion. And he's not even able to capture this requisition point because of that approach from DJ Raffa's Heretics. Meanwhile, on this side, it is going to be some Termagants are going to be targeting these shooters. I think the Termagant's going to want to get in cover. Oh, this is not looking good. Oh, no, Redbeard, what happened? Such an early loss and so far down on the map. I mean, that's probably going to have to be a buyback, especially when your teammate is a Plague Champion. Maybe if that was a Sorcerer or a Warp Spider Exarch, we could consider a revive on that Plague Champion. Sorry, on that Commando Knob, but when you have a Plague Champion walking so slowly around the map, I think that's probably just going to have to be a buyback from Redbeard. Sluggers were infiltrated, get into melee, but they are losing this fight quite handily at the moment. Sluggers need to get out of here. Redbeard, what's going on? He'll be lucky if he gets the squad out alive. I don't know if he does, and indeed he does not. Oh, God. I don't want to see this being a quick end to the series just on the basis of Redbeard losing too many units early on. Yeah, gotta respect those warriors. So, victory point lead now for Red Revenge and Dark Hero. Man, what happened to Dark Hero? Did he lose any units, or did he really just go Slugga into Luda? That can't be right. Oh yeah, DJ Raff is actually calling that he killed the shooters, so very nice that he is nice enough to give me that, that information for the things that I am missing on the map. All right, then. And, oh, look at what we have built out here. It is... Where is it? It is... This is a Luda Squad. Luda Squad from Dark Hero. Luda Squad turning out to be pretty popular in this monthly Rumble Team tournament. Not that popular, but they have been bought a few times. Shooter Boys coming out. They do not have... It looks like he's going for, once again, the... Those are not his Shooter Boys. All right, now he's finally getting the big shooters, but he's choosing to get those... He's choosing to get those Shooter Knobs first. Not entirely sure what the rationale is. I mean, I know what upgrading to the Shooter Knob does. It definitely... It does increase your DPS. It does make the squad tankier than upgrading to the Shooter... Upgrading to the big shooters first. And, of course, does give you detection, which... doesn't seem that important at the moment. Man, Shooter's actually getting out of there with just barely enough hit points. 71, actually not too bad, but lost a lot of models. Going to be a little bit of bleed that this is going to be Redbeard suffering in this lane. Meanwhile, Red Revenge should take advantage of this to start a power bash. Where is he going? Is he just trying to get a better, safer position? Because I feel like so much time is here is lost. I mean, it's not like the Warriors had to move back, at least not for the purpose of bashing the power, but they're actually not going to be staying forward. I guess he wants to keep them safe. Maybe... Oh, he wants to have some unit capture this requisition point. That's what he's thinking. But then, as it turns out, Termagants by themselves not really going to bash that quickly. And a Havoc. Will the War Boss be able to break through here? I don't think he does. Oh, wow, but just kidding. That will be the Havoc suppressed. If the War Boss can get around... Oh, no, unfortunately, the Havocs are able to start shooting again, and they do get suppressed again. The War Boss, I think I meant, so it. Raveners just deciding to retreat out of there. Lost a lot of their health on that approach. And so victory points are going to be in favor of Red Revenge and Dark Hero. Commando Knob for Redbeard is still just lying dead on the ground, waiting to be revived. And it will now be a 2-to-1 in favor of Redbeard and Raffa, actually, all things considered. However, what's going on here, it will be a sneaky generator bash by some orcs from Dark Hero. I think he'll at least be able to finish off this one generator, and then we'll probably have to get out of here, given the approach by the Chaos Space Marines as well as these heretics, soon to be replaced. Meanwhile, over here, It looks like Red Revenge was going to go for more of a generator bash, but instead he's looking to choose to maybe see if he can help. Maybe not help anyone. Maybe just win the engagement all by himself. But really, he can have one unit here to capture this victory point, and then he's going to move the rest of his army over here for the generator bash. And with the Raveners, now this should be able to be a much quicker generator bash. So one generator will go down. Should be able to get another one before there's really any kind of response. Moving over, yeah, there's actually no response really anywhere in sight, so I think this could potentially be the entire power farm. Yeah, he's just going to move up a little bit closer, taking out the node first. More interesting things might be happening here. Some hidden orcs getting around the Luda for Dark Hero. Well, I guess you just shouldn't buy Ludas. Well, the good news is that helps Dark Hero's upkeep. So now he won't have as much upkeep, and he'll be able to get his next unit out a little bit more quickly. Meanwhile, we do have even Ardboys going in on the shooters just to keep them safe in retreat so that he doesn't lose yet another unit. Slug is going to be in a bit of a rough position too, except for the fact that there was no attempt whatsoever to kill them on retreat. Certainly no attempt by the Sluggers. I think that was a big missed opportunity there. He wouldn't have wiped the squad, but I could definitely see 2 or even 3 models going down from the war boss right there. Sorry, not from the war boss, just from having to go through all those units. So we will now get a generator bash. And that generator bash will work out quite nicely. More generators being bashed on this side. At this point, we have more buildings getting shot at than people, orcs, or Tyranids. So yeah, power bashes have kind of been evened out on both sides. Redbeard losing his power farm on this side, but Dark Hero losing his power farm on this side. It seems like our orc player is having a really rough go of it. Maybe orcs are underpowered. Maybe, maybe not. I would hate to spread any false rumors, but I do enjoy just memeing around just a little bit. Shooter Boys for Redbeard will start getting a decap, but I don't think they are going to finish this. They might at least get the decap, but after that it needs to be an instant retreat. Instant, like right now. Yeah, exactly like that. Even with that instant retreat, yeah, they end up losing at least one model there. If they had not retreated sooner than that, it could have been most models killed on the squad, possibly even the entire squad. Tier 3 is going to be coming for Raffa. It's going to be some Hormigons attempting to flank, but there aren't that many of them left, and they are deterred by the Weird Boy throwing in that Warp Vomit, as well as also just using his regular basic attack. But the jump in, or rather the burrow in, from the Raveners will be enough to force that Weird Boy into a retreat. Man, and take a look, the Commando Knob still going to be here for Redbeard, just lost in such a forward position. What can you do about that? At this point, again, I think it has to be a buyback, but he's also in a situation where he doesn't have much of an army, so he might just be thinking in terms of like a new unit purchase instead. I mean, I guess either one, whether you got a new unit or you revive your Commando Knob, will actually give you more field presence, because you would have a new unit either way, and he's choosing to get the Stick Bombers. And we did see Stick Bombers get some nice value in sometime earlier today. I don't actually remember what series or which player did it. Obviously had to be an orc player. Could have been Redbeard. Might have been Redbeard, since I think he's the main orc player that I've seen all day. Alright, Weird Boy getting knocked over again, and it's just going to be another retreat, because even if he does have Warp Vomit there, it probably doesn't buy him that much. Like, there's not much else that he does, even if he does use the cooldown. So Raveners will be getting back the middle victory point, all things considered. It's not looking like a terribly uneven game at this moment. 417 to 337. Right now it is soon to be a 1-to-1, and soon to actually be a 2-to-1. The victory points will soon tick down in favor of Red Revenge and Dark Hero. I think those were stun bombs that went in, but oh man, oh no, these stick bombers. They were so young. They were so young. Oh no. I'm so sad about that. I talked about the high stick bomb value, and then we saw them basically being wiped before they had a chance to do anything. This is not looking good at this time. Thank you for the follow. And it is going to be a Predator now out from DJ Raffa. So this Predator is going to be moving up. Red Revenge calling out that someone lost another squad. Oh, but driving, actually not right into the Tank Buster barrage, but it's actually driving right into the regular Tank Buster attacks. Those Tank Busters need to be tied up or something. All right, they will be scared off by the attack from the Plague Champion, and then there will be repairs coming in for the Chaos Predator. Meanwhile, in the middle, there are going to be some engagements happening. Unfortunately, whenever I turn over to Redbeard, it just seems like he's full retreating each time. He can't handle Red Revenge at the moment. He doesn't have enough units. That's for one thing. He doesn't even have too many resources at the moment. Chaos Space Marines now, meanwhile, in trouble. This is going to be Raffa kind of getting doubled, and it looks like Red Revenge is moving around for the flank. Raffa, I don't think he sees it yet, but he might be trying to wipe this Slugger squad. Red Revenge is calling the flank, and this could be tough. Capillary Tower will be put down to speed up all these Tyranids. What is he going to do? I mean, at this point, I think it might just be full retreat the squads. Havoc, I think Havoc may just be dead. We will see an attempted Touch of Nurgle trying to kill some of those squads, knocking some of them over. Havoc is actually going to be just fine, all things considered, given how late it was retreated. And the Predator will also be driven out of there. So despite everything, despite that flank, despite being doubled, Raffa gets out of there relatively scot-free. He might have taken a few losses, but I mean, that's all very much to be expected. And it's going to be a Nurgle Predator. Nurgle Predator, obviously, these days, pretty good. Something when I first saw, I thought it was strange, but at this point, I've come to regard it as normal, that Nurgle Predator just going to be making it a lot tankier. It gives it melee resist, and also allows it to passively regenerate health. Does also make it a little bit slower, but the trade-off in favor of the survivability turns out to be worth it. So Red Revenge now having a pretty strong VP lead at this point, 413 to 237. It is a no-cap game at the moment. We will be seeing the Predator drive forward to put in a little bit more damage on those Tank Busters, but what's going to happen in this lane? Can Redbeard do anything, or is he just perpetually in retreat? Slugger Boys will be in retreat and will be lucky not to get entirely wiped. Knobs are going to be coming out for Dark Hero. Redbeard, as it was called in chat, possibly looking for Love Dodaka into rocks, which is a cool combo. If he can pull it off, that's great. It's just something that, I mean, it's a lot of resources invested into one play. So if he can make it work, that's cool. But it's kind of high risk, high reward at this point. Slugger Boy is going to be approaching for Dark Hero. Where's the support for them? Okay, it is going to be some support coming out with his War Boss, but the Slugger Boy is just tanking too much damage in retreat, going up to way too much, way too many other units. They were just outnumbered. Here is going to be Red Revenge coming around in the flank, but eats a rather big plasma shot out of the Weird Boy. And at this point, Redbeard and DJ Raffa have reoriented themselves. There is the rocks. I don't even know if I even saw if there was a Love Dodaka on top of it, but nevertheless, the rocks were actually well placed and did pretty well in that engagement. Tank Bust is deciding to shoot at some Havocs. Not going to be particularly effective. Havoc's probably going to have to reorient themselves because the main thing they have to worry about are going to be these knobs. Tank Buster Barrage is going to go in now. Oh, it does not go in on the Havoc, so it does not go in to disrupt the Havocs. Instead, attempted to hit the Predator, but the Predator managed to be microed out of the way. Tyrannoformation will go down. What effect will it have? Tyrannoformation usually pretty disruptive. War Truck, I think, meanwhile, will go down. That is going to be a War Truck down for whom? It will be down for Redbeard. Redbeard losing that War Truck. Meanwhile, we are going to see something being pulled in. Oh my god, oh what a play! Tier 3 Lictor pulling in the Weird Boy and then finishing it off with the Warriors. That was a play. Just barely, almost missed that one, but that was a play. All right, we are going to see the Knob Squad approaching. What's going to happen here, guys? Okay, there is the suppression. They need to move back into the Havoc firing arc. Make sure that the suppression's coming in. Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines moving out of the Havoc firing arc, which means that eventually the Knobs will as well. They're starting to get focused down by Shooter Boys, but doing relatively little damage to them. My god, what is happening here? I can't even see. This is that another? That's a War Truck. This is one from Dark Hero. So actually before, it was a War Truck, I think, that died for Dark Hero. I can't even tell anymore. Oh god. Carnifex now out for Red Revenge. Carnifex with no upgrade. It's just the Carnifex. Oh god, Chaos Space Marines stayed in there just a little too late. Oh no, the Predator's in trouble too. Did those Chaos Space Marines get wiped? They did. Oh no. That's going to be pretty rough. Chaos Predator is being threatened. It's getting repairs at the same time. We might see the Plague Champion coming here to try to contribute more repairs. Havoc will be setting up. All right, the Chaos Predator will actually manage to stay alive. Meanwhile, we've got a War Boss who has no weapon upgrade. He still has that spiky armor and the Angry Bits like we saw in that game before. All right, Carnifex is having to back out. And this does give Redbeard and DJ Raffa some time to regroup. And all things considered, this is still a pretty even game. I mean, it's been long. Thank you for following. Has been a pretty long game. Double cap back in favor of Redbeard and DJ Raffa. It just always feels like Redbeard doesn't have much of an army, but at the same time, Dark Hero doesn't have much of one either. He does at least have the advantage of his War Boss being alive. Oh my god. This is still the Commando Knob. He's been here most of the game. Redbeard has basically been playing without the Commando Knob for just about this entire game. That feels bad, man. No, the next matchup is going to be Piano versus Whiplash. Anyway, there is going to be a Plague Champions turret set up, but the Carnifex, Carnifex can walk straight up to it. And this is actually not going to be, this is going to be a Barb Strangler Carnifex. Oh man, that turret did not last long. Quite a lull in the game at the moment. Very quiet. Slugger Boys choosing to chop up tunnels rather than fight for victory points at the moment. Victory point lead starting to go in the favor of Red Revenge and Dark Hero again. Now it's paused out at a 1v1 cap. 1v1 victory point caps. Knobs over here seeing if they might be able to take the red team's natural victory point, which I think they can do. There's really nothing to stop them at the moment. So we're going to need to see some movement from Redbeard or Raffa or both to do something about that. Is this always double commandos from Redbeard? Commando's pretty versatile in the sense that they can do anti-infantry damage with their With their rocket launchers, they can also do anti-vehicle damage, and they've got a utility with quite a few of their abilities. Not entirely sure if going for 2 of them right here is really the play, but that is what Redbeard has chosen to go for. Warboss is rather low, but he will get out of there just fine. Knobs also, yeah, they're going to get out of there just fine. They will eventually retreat once Meaner and Greener expires. They're going to get a squad of heretics to retreat first. Redbeard going for yet another Rocks. Meanwhile, some infiltrated Ludas coming out for Dark Hero, and those Ludas, as well as the Tank Busters, are targeting this Chaos Predator. That Chaos Predator is slowly moving back, and I think, oh, it needs to move out of here. No, wait. That's, yeah, it is going in on. Ooh, that was close. Needs to continue moving back. Actually, he's fine. And wow, he actually managed to finish off the Tank Busters. Tank Busters, unfortunately, failing to bust tanks in this engagement. But what is going on over here? IED is placed on the ground. This one actually just called a booby trap. Jesus, this is a long series. And a long day, especially with some false starts on some series. But let's see what's going on. You know, I did see, even though I didn't call it out, that Raffa does have a squad of Chaos Terminators already upgraded with Lightning Claws. Of course, Terminators with Lightning Claw is going to be able to really rip up just about any unit they want. Well, any unit that's an infantry unit. Particularly going to be effective against the Knobs, which is probably the primary reason for their purchase. And here is going to be the Rocks with the Love Dadaka. I don't think he caught too many squads fully in that one. Yeah, that one I don't think was as high value as the first one that he did. Trying to use that combo. Havoc shot is going in on the Carnifex, but the lead model is pulled by the Tier 3 Lictor, and that does force a retreat from the Havocs. Meanwhile, these Chaos Terminators are looking for something to cut up, but they are also just being kited at the moment. Knobs are approaching. Of course, the Terminators would do quite a bit of damage to them, but they're a little bit low-ish on health to the point where they soon might risk losing a model. Meanwhile, the Lictor, don't lose it. He's going to lose the Tier 3 Lictor. No, all right, he gets it out in time, but that was kind of a close call. Possibly, I missed it, but maybe these commandos came out of infiltration or something. And commandos do pretty respectable DPS. I don't remember. This is definitely one squad where I don't remember the actual statistic, other than that I know it is pretty good. It is a pretty good stat. Warboss trying to move in. He does have the Power Claw now. In fact, let's take a look. Oh, we have the command. Look who's back. The Commando Knob, fully upgraded. Warboss. Oh no, the Warboss might be feeding here. All right, he doesn't. Feeding actually doesn't have any real actually, feeding does have a context in this game, because you could be feeding the opponent team like experience when you shouldn't be. So yeah, Commando Knob is now alive. He's got the booby traps. I actually should have called out that he was alive. He was alive earlier. He's a level 1 commando. Because I did see those booby traps. He's got the sneaky infiltration kit as well as the special shooter. He grapples in. He grapples in, I think that, and then he must have used the high explosive shells on these Termagants because they are so low. Oh my god, the Termagants are being ripped apart. Termagants are being wiped. Termagants for Dark Hero, for Red Revenge, should be dead soon. But it is going to be Redbeard moving back his tank because he does have to... Why are these Termagants moving forward? They can be finished off. Even the Havoc can finish them off, but the Havoc itself might get finished off. Alright, the Havoc does manage to retreat in time. There's another Love Dadaka. No Rocks follow-up for it that time, however. Yeah, Commandos are very interesting in that they are a very multifaceted unit. There's just so many different aspects to them to consider. Hard to even remember every single one. But it's going to be double Carnifexes, 1 a Barb Strangler, 1 a Venom Cannon. And on this side of the map, what is happening here? It is going to be the War Boss going down. Oh man, that is going to be rough. 2 Predators now out for DJ Raffa. 1 of them is going to be a Las Cannon Predator, since although that Nurgle Predator is highly touted these days... Oh no. Terminators. I think that's the end, their end. Yeah, I don't see Terminators getting out of this alive. Unless... Oh my god, are they going to save the Terminators? Was that the Commando Knob jumping in again? Or are we going to see a stun bomb here? And the Terminators will make it out alive. And indeed, instead, it is a kill traded out on the other side. But here is a Tyranna formation. I think someone there was... I think it was a Heretic squad that got nearly wiped, and may have actually, in fact, gotten wiped. Yeah, I think this Heretic squad is dead. Yeah, 1 Heretic squad does get wiped from that Tyranna formation. Oh, man. So, rocket launcher going to be coming out from the Commando Knob. Red Revenge and Dark Hero definitely still in a significantly advantageous position in terms of the victory points, but the armies are looking pretty even both ways. However, Red Revenge and Dark Hero do have the better economy, so that's why we see Dark Hero starting to build a new unit. Dark Hero choosing to get Sluggas, late-game Sluggas. A big part of that just has to do with the fact that he's committed to a looted tank, and if he doesn't get the Sluggas, then the looted tank doesn't do anything until he does get Sluggas. Dark Hero asking for a res. It's a little bit out of the way for Red Revenge, except for the fact that he is a mobility commander. He is a Ravener. So soon to actually be a 1-0 cap in favor of Redbeard and DJ Raffa. Even as this engagement is happening, Predator is moving back. This is the Nurgle Predator, so that Nurgle Predator, of course, quite tanky, but it does not threaten the Carnifexes that much, not nearly as much as a Las Cannon Predator would, but the Las Cannon Predator itself under a lot of threat, taking a lot of damage, and now off the field in need of repairs. I think we're going to see the finish on one of them. Commando will be hooked, and that will be the end of the Commando. All things considered, trading a Commando Knob for a Carnifex, I think that is worth it. Tier 3 Lictor will jump in for Red Revenge. Man, this is a game. This has to, this, at least right now, it feels like the longest game of the day. Dark Hero not happy about those tanks. He's still got his knobs. That's kind of the silver lining for him, that he still has his knobs. Okay, so what is the outcome of that? 2-1 back in favor of Redbeard and Raffa. So, bottom victory point. I know I'm slowing down here. It's just, I actually can see how long I've been streaming, and we are up to almost 7 hours, hitting the 7-hour mark. But we're going to finish out this stream. I don't know about those Division V plans, if that's even still happening. So, it is going to be bottom victory point retaken by the blue team, by Hero's Revenge. And now they're going to be looking into the middle to take an engagement that might lead them. They want to see if they can switch the victory points back in their favor. Ard Boy is going to be popped on the knobs along with Meaner and Greener. Seems a little redundant, and they're actually using that to capture. Meanwhile, it is going to be an Imperial Abyss right on Red Revenge. And that Imperial Abyss not actually getting a whole lot of kills, but it is scaring Red Revenge into retreating at a time when, well, that's going to cost him time. Now on the side of the map, Commandos are trying to be sneaky, trying to get a cap. It's still a 2-1. Actually a 2-0 in favor of Redbeard and DJ Raffa. But there is a back cap by these Sluggas from Dark Hero. What is that going to be? That's going to be some Bloodletters. Man, I didn't even realize that Bloodletters were purchased. Oh, man, this Commando Knob having so much trouble. And he goes down again. That Tier 3 Lictor just really showing its value. And again, we have a Commando Knob that is dead in a position that Raffa realistically should not be able to get a revive on. Raffa himself has his commander dead. Looks like a bunch of heretics may have died here as well. He has managed to push Dark Hero out, so he'll regain control once he gets this heretic squad to start capturing this point. Knobs, meanwhile, are going to be capturing the middle. We're going to need to see some kind of answer for them. And here is some Knobs up against some Terminators. Terminators will start slicing up those Knobs in retreat. 2 Knob squads for Dark Hero. Tank Buster rockets will be going in. Carnifexes decide to move out. Then they turn back, going to start suppressing the Sluggas, but have to be careful. We've got Knobs on Commando squads targeting down this Carnifex. Now they're going to start putting pressure on the other Carnifex. We have a really low squad of Raveners. And yet it's a 2-to-1 in favor of Red Revenge and Dark Hero. So it is, yeah, I mean, it's done. I like all the different ways that we can change the names of Dawn of War. Because guess who's over here? It is the War Boss. Can the Plague Champion do something about this? I feel like he should, actually. He won't be able to kill the War Boss fast enough to get the decap, but the War Boss will not be able to get the full cap. War Boss continues to cap even after being stunned. He is scared off at some point, so Raffa should be able to take this back. Oh, that War Boss, could he be killed in retreat? No, he's still got Ard Boys. Knobs looking to move in. And it is going to be the Carnifex now starting to be under pressure. Meanwhile, another Carnifex was not killed, so it's coming back out. Or unless that's a new car. Oh, we got 3 Carnifexes. My God. Carnifex is certainly going to be pretty dangerous. Going to need lots of AV to deal with it. Problem is, Carnifexes can't cap. And here is the 3rd time we have Love Dadaka into the rocks. And that's actually, that will indeed end up being the game. I don't see a way, you know, as much as we might have Dawn of back caps, I don't think that this one will be going in favor of Red Revenge and Dark Hero. And indeed, it is the concede. It is 2-2, and we will be going to a game 5. Man. Oh, I'm tired. Part of me was hoping that that would end so that we could actually have a break. All right, then. This is it. This is our final game of the series. Hopefully, it is a good one. It's been a good series so far. On our teams, we are going to have... I can't target him, so let's just go get someone else. Going to be Dark Hero on that War Boss yet again. I kind of been questioning it. We'll see if it works out for him this game. Red Revenge, is he targetable now? He is going to be playing as that mobile Ravener Alpha with those tunnels to get around the map. DJ Raffa now going to be on the Plague Champion. This is a ranged hero. You know the deal. If you're in the chat at this point, you're probably someone who knows quite a bit about Dawn of War 2. Some of you know more than me. A lot of you do, in fact. Anyway, it's going to be Redbeard. Redbeard is going to be playing as the Commando Knob. Sneaky Orc, guns, bombs, knives, you know. So, let's see what's going to happen. I mean, all things considered, it was Redbeard who had the rough start in that last game, and then they ended up winning the series. Or not the series, but the game. So, we could still be in for a long one. I still don't really want to see any, like, rough starts. I want to see smooth starts from our players. Does look like I might have dropped a few frames, but I think now we're back and now we're okay. Chaos Space Marines, looks like they were taking shots at something, but those targets have left them. Okay, it will be the Ravener Alpha. However, the Ravener Alpha is in cover, I believe. And we're going to see this wraparound coming from the Termagants, or it might not be like an actual wraparound for an attempt to fight, but more just, well, harass the generators, get the requisition point over here, so kind of just playing for map control, seeing what value he can get without directly engaging his opponent. On this side, Warboss will have to have some of the opponent's shooters. Oh, that's going to be confusing with both Dark Hero and Redbeard, both playing orcs, and finding themselves in a situation where they might be directly against each other, and indeed they are. So they are laning directly against each other, so that will be confusing to figure out exactly who is who. As usual, again, the Dawn of War 2 community shitposting does not disappoint. And I just want to make that quick comment before I return to this game, to the shooters as well as the commando bashing this generator. However, they are going to be flanked by this Warboss. Warboss is going to force them to split. Stun Bomb. Stun Bomb is not quite going to be enough. Like, it will enable a little bit of focus fire on him, bleed down some of his hit points. Not bleed. That's not the way we talk about it in this game, but basically just lower his hit points. I don't see what the Shooter Boy's doing here. Shooter Boys, yeah, they're not going to get that decap in time without suffering major losses. And it is going to be some sluggers chasing after that commando knob, and yet another Luda purchase. We're seeing what a great unit it is. Meanwhile, over here, we are going to see... Now, I see your comment, Energetic Disassembly. On my own playback, I am still seeing the stream myself, so I would actually like to hear from other people if they can actually see the stream. I honestly wouldn't even be sure what to do if you can't. Oh, look at this. Infiltrated Ludas, but also an infiltrated Pain Boy. Starts to get suppressed by the Ludas, but manages to get into range, ties up the Ludas. Pain Boy in all by himself here. He's going to start tying up the Shooter Boys, but he's starting to get low on hit points. I'm pretty sure heal has already been used, and he's trying to get in to tie up the Ludas, but it's going to be some retreats called by some of those Shooter Boys. It's also going to be a retreat from Redbeard's Pain Boy. Meanwhile, on this side, we don't have any real direct engagement for... Well, between Shri... Sorry, not Shri. Sorry, Shri, you're not playing. But I saw you in chat, and I got confused. Between Raffa and Red Revenge. So it looks like we're actually going to have Tyranids moving into the middle, possibly looking for a double. Red Revenge has done this quite a few times today, where he has gone for... like, flanks, and in this time he's not choosing to commit to the flank. I thought he was going to go around. Now, all things considered, I like to say that phrase a lot, even if it doesn't mean anything. But we see now this game, the victory point lead is actually in favor of Red Revenge and Dark Hero, whereas in previous games, it was very significantly in favor of Raffa and Redbeard. And somehow it often seemed like Red Revenge and Dark Hero would kind of fight their way back. Perhaps we'll see the opposite this game. What we are going to see is some warriors leaping into melee, knocking over some heretics. Heretics in a lot of trouble. And that's not the retreat path that they wanted. Could be a wipe on the heretics, but I think that Aspiring Champion will just keep them alive. Ultimately, a rather unfortunate engagement for DJ Raffa here. He did lose not actually a single Chaos Space Marine model. Well, all things considered... There goes that word again. I'll try to stop saying that's kind of like my crutch phrase. He did not lose that much economically. I mean, he did lose 8 heretic models, but that's also something that is not a, in the grand scheme of things, is not a huge economic loss. Didn't lose a single Chaos Space Marine model, which is really the important part. Okay, so it is going to be the Shooter Boys. Well, bashing the generators, and then one of them had to retreat because it had very few hit points left. Engagements happening up here, though. Chaos Space Marines going to approach the Shooter Boys. Noise Marines also looking to get in range so they can shut down the Shooter Boys. Yeah, this is absolutely a loss for the Shooter Boys. They get a heal from the Pain Boy, but unless there's some additional support, it's not going to work out well for them. Here's also the support from, I can't tell with all these Orc players. It's, oh my god, look at those wipes. That support coming in from Redbeard. So this is shaping up to be quite a series in our final game. The epic conclusion happens now. Ravener just decides to back out of there upon seeing the approach of all these Chaos units. Noise Marines are moving up close, though. Oh, the Ravener's in a lot of trouble. All right, I don't think he will die, but still, it's not working out well for him. What are they going to do? Oh, my God, use your Choppas on the Hormagaunts. They're going to start ripping things apart. I don't know about this play by the Noise Marines. The Hormagaunts are still here, and now they are going to have to retreat through the use your Choppas Tyranids, as ridiculous as that sounds, as the kind of heresy that is. They still have use your Choppas on them, and they're now going in against the Chaos Space Marines. Hormagaunts, I believe, with between 8 models, I believe they do 20 melee DPS per model. That's 160 DPS as a squad, so that's nothing to sneeze at or laugh at, or I don't even know. And especially once they have use your Choppas on it, that's going to make them just incredibly threatening. Gotta respect that. Gotta do something about it. So Generator Bash is now going to come in for Dark Hero. What will the response be for Redbeard? And will it be enough? Will it be in time? Node will go down. One generator goes down. We'll probably see Dark Hero start focusing on yet another one. And the response is still a little slow, but he starts to move back. But he will finish at least one more generator. Pain Boy starts to get focused down for Dark Hero. But I think he got what he wanted. He got the Generator Bash in. I'll have to check, but at least I thought I remember far back that the base DPS for a Hormagaunt is 20 melee DPS. I actually forgot to factor in the adrenal glands entirely. Okay. Thank you for keeping me up to date. Unfortunately, there are definitely ways in which I have been a little outdated on some of my statistics. Try my best. I'll have to take another run through the codex. But thank you guys for keeping me honest here and also keeping me informed. So, strong victory point lead for Red Revenge and Dark Hero, but soon to potentially be a double cap for Redbeard and DJ Raffa. Chaos Space Marines are in cover. At some point, though, we're going to see the approach by the Warriors. They're going to leap in, knock down the Chaos Space Marines. One Chaos Space Marine model is gone. I think the Raveners... yeah, they are around the firing arc, and we also see the Ravener Alpha with the Hardened Carapace to grant the burrow ability. In that case, he can just go straight up to the Havoc, and then once it gets under it, just knock it up. Luda Squad, man, that Luda Squad suppression did take a while, and now we are going to see the Weird Boy come in. Kind of a staggered retreat in these engagements as well. Zap is going to go in on the Termagants as I think they managed to not pass the Zap at all, so I don't think there was much value out of that Zap there. Meanwhile, I missed it, but here is a Dreadnought from DJ Raffa, currently just in its vanilla form with the autocannon. Fairly versatile in this form because, of course, it'll still do well in melee against most infantry units. It does have decent range damage. Not great range damage, but decent. And it also does it can also deal with vehicles somewhat. It can at least not give them complete free reign, as we do see the autocannon does do some damage. I mean, autocannon, the damage type, which I'm pretty sure is explosive, I'm pretty sure it just does full damage to vehicles. However, the base DPS of the autocannon is a little bit on the low side. Warboss kind of low, too, and does go down there. How did he get so low while I'm droning on about autocannons? You know, here is the Ravener Alpha again. Something needs to be done about that Ravener Alpha, who's just constantly managing to get around. I mean, there is a squad of Aspiring Champion Heretics. They just weren't on the field. So the the Ravener Alpha with the Hardened Carapace is kind of just burrowing and unburrowing for free at the moment. Meanwhile, those Raveners, the Ravener Brood, their burrow was not quite so free, were pretty threatened upon their exit, and they did just have to do a retreat there. Beam Eluda is set up. That Beam Eluda does do some pretty high burst damage out of all of the setup teams. It is actually detected, so maybe take one shot and then retreat, or he's just going to rely on the support of his teammates to keep it in. Take another shot, yeah. That Dreadnought's really low already. So we kind of have this engagement happening on two sides. The War Truck on this side. War Truck is now going in. War Truck going in. There isn't a lot of anti-vehicle damage to threaten it. But Sluggers are going to come out of the truck. And we do have a Blastmaster Noise Marine firing, but not actually contributing that much in this engagement. So as we have a little bit of a lull, let's quickly go around, take a look at our upgrades. We did already see the Hardened Carapace. Dark Hero rocking the Angry Bits. Consistently see him get that. Raffa, no upgrades on the Plague Champion, and no upgrades on the Commando Knob either. Even though, I mean, we're pretty far into this game at the moment. Victory points are pretty even. Some players going into Tier 3, one already there and one not going there yet. Venom Brood out for Red Revenge, though, to put a little bit more threat on the Chaos Dreadnought. Chaos Dreadnought answers back decently, though, with that bolter of its own in addition to the autocannon. Alright, so we're going to have one squad of Sluggers going to be retreating through quite a bit, but a good enough retreat path that they won't lose the entire squad. Oh, actually, wow, lost most of it except for just the knob, so quite a few losses for Dark Hero there. Dark Hero and Red Revenge just now getting to Tier 3. Redbeard already in Tier 3 and has the Commandos, but I don't think they have shown yet, so they don't know just quite yet. Meanwhile, Shooter Boys are going to be unloading, opening fire, and they're winning most of these head-to-head range fights with the support of that Weird Boy, disrupting that, I don't even know what it's called anymore. Disrupting those Shooter Boys. And here we're going to see something go down and retreat, unless it's a Touch of Nurgle. Touch of Nurgle. Oh my god, Touch of Nurgle's so scary here. Touch of Nurgle has always been, in my opinion, one of the scariest globals in the game. Maybe not necessarily because of its overall impactfulness, even though it is pretty impactful, but just because of the effect when you finally see it active and you suddenly see heretics exploding and knocking things down. I love it, even though I don't play the Plague Champion much myself. Slugger Boy is going to move in on the Shooter Boys, and it is going to... Okay, we did see them knock down. Pain Boy, maybe seeing if he can give them heals. He's got that stronger Git Sauce. Make your Git Sauce stronger. Anyway, Chaos Space Marines attempting the decap. They do indeed get the decap, and they don't lose a model. Victory points at 1-0, 241 to 228. Victory points only ticking down one at a time with the current setup. Big engagement potential happening here. War Truck is in a little bit of trouble. Low on hit points, but here is another Rox from Redbeard, taking out quite a bit. Oh dear, what a Rox that was. And yet, I mean, he didn't seem to kill everything. In fact, I'm not sure if he wiped anything, but he still took out quite a few models. And it looks cool. That's the important part, right? Gonna be, certainly it forces them off the field. Full generator bash, and now it is a triple cap. Triple cap for Raffa and Redbeard. Things are getting rough. Things are getting rough here. Slugger Boys will attempt to decap, and they will just have to retreat. So knobs are not actually here. You debated me. It's Redbeard who's buying knobs, actually. Yeah. It's going to be flash kits for Dark Hero. You trying to debate me? Anyway, Stun Bomb is going to go in on the Pain Boy. Pain Boy starting to take some damage from the Commando Knob. Ignoring him right now. Could be risky. We're going to see. I think that needs to be a retreat real soon. Otherwise, the Pain Boy could be going down for Dark Hero. He decides to just walk it out. He's walking it out without... He's walking it out with Ard Boys. I don't know if that's worth it. That special attack. That could be the end. Even if he does retreat it right now, and he doesn't seem to see it. He used Stronger Git Sauce. He's trying to keep the Pain Boy in here. This is so risky. Snazgun's going to be porting in some damage on Redbeard's Pain Boy, though. And it's a Pain Boy off. Pain Boy duo. And actually, all right, Dark Hero knew better than I did, and he did not lose that Pain Boy. I was pretty scared for that Pain Boy, I gotta say. Oh, wow. Look at the victory points, though. They don't have time anymore. There needs to be 2 victory points decapped like now, and 1 needs to go to a full cap. So we're going to see Hormagaunts go for it. They can be easily killed, but I think they need to at least try to start it. Otherwise, this is going to be a quick end to this series. In this late game, Dark Hero loses the Pain Boy. The War Truck will be killed. I think that is the War Truck. Red Revenge, unfortunately, literally and mentally done. At this point, the concede doesn't matter. The game will actually end. And that will be the end of the series in favor of Red Revenge. No, just kidding. Oh my god. I can't do it. Red Revenge, Redbeard. Can those two just be the team next time? That makes things a lot better for me.